Hello, welcome to the third video in this short series using JavaScript to code a simple version of the classic Asteroids game. So in the first two videos, the first video we got stars not twinkling but on the screen, and we've got Asteroids, just circles. I think they look better, but certainly less complicated to code. Moving around, also screen wrapping, so when they go off the screen they appear on the other side of the screen. In the last video we've got a ship with some physics, so we've got some acceleration. We can rotate our ship and she spins wonderfully and then heads in the correct direction. So this video, what do we want to do? We want some lasers. Oh no, I got too excited. Before we're allowed lasers, we must have collision detection. So right now, when I'm moving around, I don't even care. I just go into Asteroids and nothing happens. It's wonderful. So let's ruin all this fun. And now when we hit an asteroid, something bad will happen. And you know what? But in preparation for the laser fire, what we'll do is to test the collisions. If we run into an asteroid, we'll have the asteroid do the wonderful Asteroids game thing of exploding into baby asteroids. So, collision detection. Maybe I can demonstrate what I'm going to aim to do while I'm playing now. So, let's hit this guy. When I hit an asteroid, it means that the position of our two objects, which are held in vectors, the magnitude of one position minus the other position is going to be less than both of the object's radii added together. So I'll say that again. So the difference in position between two objects, my ship and an asteroid, that magnitude, that distance, if it's less than the radius of the asteroid plus the radius of my ship, then they must be overlapping. And so we can write a function to ask that question and return whether it's true or false. Then, if we do hit, we want maybe that current asteroid to be spliced from the array of asteroids, and then we want to push 4 more asteroids onto the array at a smaller size. That's what we'll do. So in this video, maybe I can get collision detection. Maybe we should be able to do both of those things. I forgot to look at what time I started. Anyway, so here's the wonderful space thrust function where I struggled to do some geometry there. Geometry is trigonometry. Okay. So what are we doing? I forgot. Collision detection. So let's, just like we wrote a general function for screen wrapping, let's write a general function that will return true or false checking if there's a collision. So it's going to receive two objects. The first one we'll assume is the asteroid, and then the second one the ship. Technically, we could add any two objects we wanted. So let's just say object 1, object 2, because in the future we might have asteroids colliding with one another, we might have other objects. So that's to avoid possible confusion later on. So what do we want to say? We want to say if, and we need a vector, we need to first subtract one vector from another. So let their distance equal, let's create that as a vector first. That seemed to work in our other function, so i.e. creating a vector before you did anything to the vector. So we're going to say the distance equals, and it's a p5 function, vector function, subtract. You just write sub for subtract, and then one vector from another. And it doesn't matter whether the x is negative or whatever else, because we just want the magnitude afterwards. So we can say we'll minus object 1 from object to's position, from their position vectors. So both pos, ob1.pos, ob2.pos, they're both vectors. So that's now held in distance. And we can say let dist mag equal distance magnitude. I think it's a function, not just a variable. We'll see if this works. So we should be able, we should now be able to say if the dist magnitude is less than object 1's radius plus object 2's radius, less than that, then there's a collision. So we'll say then return true, else return false. Okay, that's our collision. That's our collision detection. Maybe written. How confident I sound. I'll do the exciting thing. I think this would look really cool. We want to maybe update asteroids. So while we're looping around the asteroids, we can check a collision with the ship, and then we can write this function of don't know what to call it. It's kind of a destruction of one asteroid and the spawning of other. Asteroid spawn, we'll call it. So first we need to check. What did I call that? Check collision? Oh no, I'm so sorry. Collision. Collision, and we want to pass in the ship, definitely. I don't think it matters which way around now. And then asteroids, and then the current asteroid we're talking about. So this returns true or false. So let hit equal collision. So if hit is true, if the hit is true, I'll just put that equals true, just to be clear. If it's true, then we want to, what do I call it? Asteroid spawn. How exciting. Now what do we need to pass into that asteroid? We need to know what asteroid has been destroyed. Okay, asteroid. Now this won't be a function that's attached to the asteroid object, because we're going to destroy that object, and then if it's trying to do some things and it's a destroyed object, it no longer exists in an array, we're going to get some problems, some faults. So what we really need is like a manager system to handle destroying the objects. So we'll do that just hard coded outside, just like make asteroids. This is kind of our managing system. So we want function now, asteroid spawn, and we pass in the asteroid. We'll just call it _ast. Okay, so we do want to destroy it, but we also need, what did we need? We kind of need the size, the radius of the asteroid, because we want to create baby asteroids relative to the size of their parent, their mummy asteroid, to be kind of realistic. Because if we've got an asteroid destroyed and then its babies are bigger than the original one, that won't look convincing. So let baby radi equal our asteroid object's radius. Maybe we're gonna do. I think in Asteroids game they created 4, so we won't do any. I can't do any fancy circle geometry maths here. I I don't have the formula off the top of my head. Radius times, so we'll just say times by a quarter. There we are. Lovely. I've got a random bracket. Okay. And then what were we doing? So now we've got everything we need from the parent. We've got everything we need. We can just destroy it. So asteroids, that's the array, and we want to splice. So this will take 2 parameters. We just want to destroy one object, and we want to destroy it at the index of the object, which we don't know. We could pass that in here. So underscore I will stand for underscore index, and it just wants to be A. So we pass in A. So when there is a collision, so if hit equals true, we call asteroid spawn. We pass in the asteroid that's going to be destroyed. We also just pass in the index for which asteroid we're talking about, so that we can destroy the correct asteroid. And then the second parameter again just means how many objects you want to remove, pull from that array. There we go. So we destroy the asteroid, and now we want to push 4 more on there. Maybe a for loop would be overkill, so let's just copy and paste, I think. So we want to push a new ast, I think I call them, and I don't think I need any parameters. So I would want some parameters. I want to pass in how big it's going to be. So pass in what it's going to be. So we want baby radii, baby radii. There we go. So now we just need to amend the asteroid object constructor functiony bit. That's a ship. Where's the asteroid? Further down here, there's a famous star function and the asteroid constructor. So its radius at the moment we are randomizing. So I think if we can say, maybe we can say, this is almost like polymorphism here. We're going to say if underscore radius, so if this parameter is null, if that's null, come up with a random radius, else this radius will be the value that we've passed in. There we are. So maybe that would work. Can you do polymorphism in JavaScript? I don't know. Will that work? So have we called collision detection? Yes. So the only thing we haven't done is in asteroid spawn, we haven't spawned enough. So we simply want to spawn 4 asteroids, baby asteroids, of the same size. They're also, of course, oh no, they're also going to be spawned in a random position. So we also need to pass in a position vector. Hopefully, hacky polymorphism will also work. Pos. So we can say, write this in reverse order. This pos equals underscore pos that we passed in. That's only oh no, I've done that the wrong way around. So if our position I've done it the wrong way around. If the position equals null, do that. Else we're allowed to have the position that we've passed in. So if position equals null, you haven't got one, randomize it. Otherwise, receive the value that we passed in. So I think I've got collision detection going there. Oh, this would kind of infinitely be able to create baby asteroids. So everything's frozen, so it's definitely a serious bug. Asteroid is not defined. 76, so some kind of typo, I think. If hit asteroid spawn asteroids A. There we go. A misreference to the array. It's pluralized. Okay, things are moving around. We've got random asteroid sizes, as we should have. Oh, and we are colliding. We're not passing in the position when we spawn our new asteroid. So we've passed in the radius, so we also need to pass in the position of the asteroid that we have passed in to this function. So this should be it. It's also going to have a random velocity when a new or is it? What on earth is going? That's a crazy bug. I've noticed a lot of the asteroids are appearing on top of each other, which is very suspect. So we are definitely creating 4 baby asteroids. And the velocities are going wild. Let's yeah, every time I hit them, it's like their velocity is increasing. So let's just have a look. So when we spawn an asteroid, a new baby asteroid, we pass in the radius that we want. That seemed to be okay. They were smaller. Then we're passing in this vector position. So what happens when we create a new asteroid? If position is null, this position will be random. Else this position equals the position that we get. So they did seem to be spawning in the correct place. The velocity then would be random. They all seem to. Now this is a strange thing. The new asteroids had the same velocities, and every time we hit them, they seem to be getting faster. Which I don't understand. And then if the radius equals null, well, the radius seemed to be working fine. Space glide. This position adds this velocity. No, I don't know what's going on here at all. Let's go and collide with this very slow one in the bottom. So yeah, some very fast asteroids were created. They all receive the same velocity when they're created. This might be because that random function is happening very close together. I'm really not sure. Let's have a look at collisions. So collision is simply returning true or false. So it's in update ship. Update ships. So if there is a hit, we want to asteroid spawn, and we're passing in the correct asteroid. Oh, in this loop, we are removing asteroids from the array and then going to the next index. So we're affecting asteroids that we shouldn't be affecting. So we could simply go through the loop backwards, and then if we've removed one, it won't affect the previous objects in the array. So that should be the bug. So let A equal asteroids length minus 1, and we'll keep going around the loop so long as A is greater or equal to 0. That'd be the first asteroid in our array, and then of course we want to go backwards. So command save. If this works, I think the video has been around, I don't know, time's passed very, very quickly, so maybe 45 minutes or something. I'm aiming for about 20 minutes. That went even worse. Oh my goodness. That was terrible. Now, it's almost created a wonderful fractal object. As I keep colliding with these, look at that. As I keep colliding with the asteroids, they very quickly spawn more and more and more babies. I don't have a chance to see it kind of working. No, they've all again received the same vector. I'm not sure why that's happening. So we'll quit here. We've got collision detection working, but the spawning of baby asteroids is a disaster. So I don't know when I'll be able to record the next video. So if you want to correct the bug and comment in, that would be fantastic. But I'll sort that out before the next video. Right, thank you very much.